Kundalini awakening, Kundalini rising, the chakras, or moving from gross physical reality. You move from that to the astral reality, to then the subtle reality, to the causal reality. Now, what actually happens is that when you experience the awakening, and with that thunderbolt energy that passes through your system, it can either make you or break you. You can go through the whole thing in one lifetime or many lifetimes. It just depends on how willing and involved and engaged you are in getting through it all. Now, as you get through it, you're literally shedding the density. You're shedding the lower triangle. You're going through everything, and eventually you're coming to an apex. You're coming to an apex point, at which point there is just a zero. There's just a zero. It's a 0 point. To get to that 0 point, when there's no more the body, you see, Kundalini exists everywhere. We know that. In our body, we also know how it manifests. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. But in our body, we call it the Kundalini. Now, when Kundalini, for it to operate within us and for us to then get to a point when we have come into our own and we know who we are, and it presents itself as enlightenment, liberation, self-realization, and all else that is out there, whatever it is that you would like it to be, but eventually just simply dispelling all illusion and getting to a point of nothingness. At the astral level, so when you get through the physicality and you've shared everything, and then you start to get lighter, and as long as you're ascending and you start to get lighter, this is where you then go into your crown. Now, eventually, there won't be a crown, there won't be a Muladhara, at least not active in this particular body, because eventually it is all shared, and so you're working completely from the upper triangle or the upper centers, which you cannot see. You cannot see any of the centers anyway, but the upper centers are way beyond our head. Now, when you're going through that, this is a time when you will have heard of maybe just 1 or 2 people in the entire universe, or people that we actually know of publicly, right? Or you may have heard of certain places that are secretive and you won't see these people. They go through portals. Now, this is when you can shape-shift your own body. You can be physical or not physical. So you can actually be in this body or not be in this body. When you are operating from that level, you can be sitting in that level, and this is where you might find people have been meditating in the same position for years and years and years and years, and even thousands of years. So you might have heard of some people, you might have heard of saints that have been sitting there and they've never been seen, or someone might have spotted somebody. There might have been a cave that has been found. Now, these are people that can become unseen, so unseen, right? So they may still have, you still have your physical body, but like I said, you shape shift. Now, you're not shape shifting because you're sort of shedding your body, but your body cannot be seen. It cannot be seen by those on a different frequency, to put it quite simply. Yeah. Also, if you don't want to be seen, you will not get seen. So it is working from a very, very different, if you like, you can call it a dimension, but it's working on a very, very different level. This is not the astral level. This is going beyond that level, because remember, the astral level is still very attached to the happenings of the body and the happenings of this 3D consciousness, 5D, 4D consciousness. It is still very much in that, and will still feel emotions, will still feel things. When you're past that, when you're eventually past the possibility of ever having a body, and you can come at will, you can go at will, when you have passed that stage, imagine that you go into a sort of black hole where there is nothing, where there is absolutely nothing, and then you can come back, you can mix up with all of the elements, and it comes into the shape of a human or the shape of other forms, which is why if you go back into scriptures or you go back into history, you'll find so many different theories about how form was created. So if you look at the 10 avatars of Vishnu, for example, it all comes from the water, and you follow all of those avatars. You don't have to follow that, but just to give you a little bit of evolution that takes place. So Kundalini is not limited to, right, okay, let's get to the crown, and and in fact, why do we want to get to the crown? Why do we want to get through the siddhis? Why do we want to even get to that place? Yeah, there is so much that is still to be done at ground level, and the ground level, and say heaven and earth must always be connected to each other. When they're not connected to each other, and that goes, and all of the bottom part has been dissolved into this part, and it's just a small shunya, so that has taken everything, that is like your blueprint, that then stays. You can then work out that blueprint from another dimension, or you come back into this dimension and work through it physically. There are many, many layers and many, many levels to this, folks, some of which perhaps this is not the right modality through which to talk about this, which is why you won't find a lot of in-depth information on this. And remember, folks, Kundalini is that kind of topic which is very, 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 it's like Sancto Sanctorum. It's something that you don't just write about, or yes, I mean, I know there are lots of books and things, but it was something that was passed down, and it's something that you can read as much as you want, you can listen to somebody, but it's an experience. It's something that you yourself have got to go through for anything. Yeah, whether something is called Ida, whether something is called Pingala, whether something is called Sushumna, what was all of this before any of the terminology? Yeah, what was Kundalini before it was labeled as Kundalini? Yeah, can you identify with the primary experience before you know what it is called? Then you know, my experience is what it is, and then it won't matter whether it's called Kundalini or what. Yes, people who've gone through this, who've gone and come back, and they've experienced this, they will say, yeah, right? But you must go through that experience. It is not that, oh, let's all go through this and it's going to open this for me, it's going to open that for me. It's not going to open anything. Yes, you can go through your Kundalini awakening, but you're going to have to let go of samskaras, vrittis. You're going to have to let go of all the conditioned existence and all the self-imposed limitations and everything that tells you that this is what I am. So the container that you are, it's going to have to go, and everything that you contain within the container has to go. And as you do this, because there is then no duality and there is no me and the others, or me and me, in fact there is no me, then everything then just is that one, then you see you enter a very different realm. So whilst you're fully engaged and involved in your physicality, your world, your manifest reality, there is no attachment. There is no attachment means you're not identified with it. And you're also not identified with the other reality. So other meaning even pure consciousness. There is no identification. There is no, literally nothing. There's a void. It's shunya. Because at that point it doesn't matter Am I experiencing this? Am I not? None of these things. So folks, wherever you are in your journey, whether you want to call it Kundalini, spiritual awakening, awakening the Holy Christ, awakening the Holy Ghost, awakening Christ consciousness, there are so many ways, but you know who you are, you know what you're experiencing, you know the totality of existence, that this is all awakening inside of yourself, and how you're able to see everything, and how you're able to witness the world and witness your physical reality. You see, when you become the witness of your physical reality and a witness to your unmanifest reality, so you are in the middle of both, and you're both all of the time, then you're in your still point, folks. Then you're in your essence. Now in that point, with your Kundalini journey, it doesn't just stop at your crown chakra. We go well beyond that, and beyond that there are other chakras. And forget about even the chakras, right? For a minute, forget all of this terminology, forget about all of this language. Let's connect with that which is unspoken, that which does not have a definition, that which simply you know. And it is at that point where you can't talk about it. You can't. So very rarely will you actually find anything that is written. And if it has been written, it will be very abstract and difficult to decipher, because most of the times we will read something or decipher it very literally, or projecting from our own conditioned existence, so that what we are reading will not be neutral. It's when we then connect with the unseen before the word is what eventually the Kundalini awakening, rising is all going to give rise to. Sending you so much love, and take care. Wherever you are, it's okay. Lots of love.